Hi guys and welcome to the channel, and this is the new video, and in today's video we're going to be doing player reviews on the Path to Glory players. Now I have, as you can see here, I have 7 in the club. I've tried all these out in various modes on the game, some in my team with regard to rivals, champs, squad battles, and I've also played in the draft where I've played with other cards as well. So I just want to give you guys an insight into, if you're thinking about buying of any of these players, whether it's worth it or not for the price that these guys hold, especially now they've had some of them have had their upgrades and likely to get more. Now might be a time, especially if you're looking at guys like Hazard, who might get another upgrade, Vinicius, Verratti, etc. So we'll start with the guys in the club here. So Verratti, I've used this guy quite a bit. He's, for me, a very, very, very good card. Now, I like players who are small and nimble. I tend to not get on with the taller, clunkier type of player, like where they're, for instance, like I have Cantona in my club. Now, as much as I wanted this guy, I'm not so sure he's the type of player that I play particularly with very well with. So it all depends on your play style, guys. I mean, if it depends what type of players you like playing with or how you set up your formations, etc. But for me, someone like Verratti fits me because my favourite player that I've played with this year in this whole game so far is this card here, Lionel Messi, which I've packed at Team of the Year. He's brilliant. He's everything you want in a card. He's stronger than you think as well. But Verratti, the one downfall of this guy is his strength. For me, although they give him 77, it doesn't feel like it. He's very small. I mean, I don't even know how tall he is. He's 5'5". So you know, being very short and weak, that's the only downside to this card. But if you like these type of players, where extremely agile on the ball, good passing, great finishing. So for me, like as a cam, sensational card. Yeah. So his price, if you're looking at him on the market, you're looking at, yeah, he is quite expensive. Obviously, being 97 rated, is about 700k. If you have got the budget for it, and he will fit your team, or even as a super sub, I suppose. Yeah, about 700k. I do recommend this card, but it is expensive, and I think because the reason why he's holding his price is because Italy's still in the tournament, and there's a potential that he could get a 98 and the 5-star skills on weak foot, which would make this card insane. He's already on 4-star, 4-star, so yeah. So a thumbs up from me from him. The next one, I think, goes without saying that this card's insane. Really, he's 4 million still. So I mean, he's not going to be in many people's budgets, but if you have got the budget, or you do get the chance to play with this guy, or you get very lucky like myself and get him packed, he's brilliant. He's fast. He's strong. He's just got everything. He's a card that I think most people would love to get in their club, but obviously the price makes people go away from him. This guy, for me, price to how good they are in ratio is the best for me. So if you look at the price of this guy, he's about 90k. This is probably one of the best super sub strikers. So by super sub, I mean I usually bring him around the 60 to 65 minute mark, somewhere in around there. So when you've wore their defence down a little bit with the players that you've got in your team already, if you bring this guy on with the last half an hour to go, he's dangerous. Now his pace is one of his biggest strengths, and he's very agile as well. So he's very similar to the Verratti type player that I was on about. He's only 5'7", very quick, very agile, and his finishing and shot power is, as you can see there, 99. It feels that way in game. Like you can't get much more out of him for 90,000 coins. At a 94 rated striker with them stats is mental to me. But it's down to the fact that he's Venezuelan and MLS, so links aren't great. So he has to be a super sub really, unless you are rolling with an MLS or Venezuelan squad, which not many people do. So, but as a super sub for 90k, which a lot of you guys I'm sure will have at this stage of the game, 90,000 coins, for me is a bargain. And he's extremely strong as well, actually, when he's got the ball. So, Paredes, this guy's just had an upgrade. He's up to 170k. Now, that's right backs are tricky. I mean, most people play fullbacks now at centre back anyway, but this guy's actually a decent fullback if you're actually playing where he's meant to be. Now I've got Zambrotta, which I do love that Zambrotta card. But Paredes, he isn't far away. I tried this guy earlier on today. He is an all-round. You could play this guy at CDM, to be honest. He's got the stats to play anywhere in that back line, whether you want him as a CDM or a right back or centre back. To be honest, I mean his height, I found 5'11". He didn't seem to lose too much in the air. His pace is enough. If you wanted to give him an extra boost, you could give him the shadow or the anchor, and he'd be fine. But for 170k again, and the fact that he could get upgraded again because Argentina are still going. So for me, it's a good value card. On to Hazard now. Now this guy again is still in the tournament. Belgium have got Italy in the next round, I believe. So Verratti or Hazard, one of them is going to end up falling out the tournament. But you're looking at about 340k for him. I personally don't think he's worth that much. He's not worth that value. I think that value is because they're in the tournament, in all honesty. I think if Bade went out, he'd drop massively. I think he'd drop probably down to like the 200 mark, maybe even just below. But because he's still in there, he's live. Obviously, the potential of him going up again and getting the 5-star weak foot and skill moves, this card could be insane. I think there's better. I personally think if you're going to spend 350k on this guy, I'd much rather spend 90k on this guy. Now, if you wanted him to start, if you are rolling with a Bundesliga team or a Belgian squad, you could start him from the start, and yeah, you're going to get more out of him than playing this guy for the last 30 minutes. But I just think 350k is a lot of money to ask. I just think if you want to try this guy out, I'd probably say just see what happens with the Belgium-Italy game first. If they go out and Italy win, obviously this Verratti card's going to be ridiculously good. But if Belgium do win, then he's going to go off again and see what EA do to his stats. But for now, I think he's probably slightly overpriced for me. This Gnabry card, obviously Germany are out now, so this won't get any more upgrades. And you can tell by the price that that's the reason why he's about 180, 190k. For me, not the best. I don't think they've really liked Gnabry this year in general. Like they murdered his pace on his normal gold card at the start of the game, and I just don't think they've just like given him enough justification on his stats. Even with this 93 card, it's just in game is not. It doesn't feel like a 93 rated card with them stats. In all honesty, there is better options out there that you could get. I mean, just for one instance, this card here, he's 700k, he's quite a lot more. But yeah, I personally would stay away from Gnabry. It's not mine, but his body type's okay. He's 5'9". I did play with this guy in a few modes, in friendlies and foot draft as well, but just not for me, guys. But if you want to try him out, by all means, but he ain't getting any more upgrades now with Germany being out. Now, Turkey, obviously, they're out as well. So this card's going to remain. He's one of, this is probably the cheapest, I think, of all the Path to Glory cards. I think he's right there. He's about 75k. Again, for 75k, it's a good card for the price. He is very, very, very usable, and for that price, and if you are running a Ligue 1 team, then yeah, definitely give him a try for that sort of coins. But again, I'll go back to this guy. If you want a super sub, or you want to try out a striker for 100k less, you know, that being your maximum, I'd definitely recommend Martinez rather than going for Yaziki. Paying the extra 10-15k for Martinez, he's, for me, far better value than Yaziki. But if you want to start him from the beginning, try a Ligue 1 team, then for 75k you can't go wrong, and I don't think he's going to drop too much more below that, to be honest. So you're not going to really lose much with your coin balance. So then we'll go to the transfer list now. I'll get the remaining guys up this way who I've played with. So Morata, I would avoid. For me, again, for the value, 130k. Spain is still in the tournament, so there's a potential for this guy to go up. But it's just Morata's build. It's the same as the Cantona issue. Like if you've got big guys who are quite stocky and clunky, unless you're playing that, you like to play that way and you've got that target man, I'd stay away from Morata personally. Wijnaldum, I've used in draft. Very, very good card. Obviously not going to get upgraded, Hollander out. But very, very, very good all-round card. You can play him anywhere in the field. If you want to play him attacking wise, he'll do the job. If you're playing defensively, he'll do the job. You can't really go wrong for that card there. Be interesting to see his price. He didn't sell at 299, so he's quite cheap. Then we're going into Eder Militao. I haven't used this guy. I haven't had the luck to pack this guy, but I haven't had the luck to get him in draft yet. But I have heard a lot of good things about this card, to be honest. This card, it just looks like it's going to be insane anyway, doesn't it? I'd love this card. I'm hoping to pack this at some point, or try and... I've got the coins to buy him. I might try him out. And if I do, I can do another review on him. But I haven't had the joy of packing him or using him yet. Zakaria, I used in draft. Again, for the price, he's a solid card. I'd say use him at DM. He is what he is. He's a solid DM. Anything else, I think he's not an attacking card, but in any means, and I wouldn't play him at the back. He's a CDM where I'd stay away from, in all honesty. Hernandez card, he's probably the cheapest, along with Yaziki. There's a reason for it. I think he's all round. He's not bad, but at this stage of the game, he's not good enough for me. Griezmann, I haven't had the chance to use either. He's another card that I haven't packed or got lucky enough to get out in a draft. But again, I'm sure looking at this card, its stats, it's just going to be, this guy's going to be insane. You need to put some pace on him, I think. If you give him the Hunter or something along them lines, maybe an engine, this guy's going to be lights out, guys. I'd recommend him. But again, it's the price. It's what it's what budget you're working with at this stage of the game. If you just started the game, for instance, then you've got to be looking towards your Martinez sort of cards. I'd be looking towards your Martinez's or your Zickies. But if you've been playing this game for a while and you have got the coins, and you can pick some of these guys up. Lorente, I use this guy in draft. He's brilliant. I mean, you can use this guy anywhere on the pitch, and I mean that when I say it. Like, they've got him as a right back, but I think he'd be wasted at right back, in all honesty. I mean, with them stats, you'd have to put him on the bench and bring him on, but this guy can play anywhere. I mean, the card's insane. I'd love this guy in the club. You know, it might be one of them ones that I might buy down the line when the game's coming towards the end, and just use my coins to get him. But overall, insane card. Sanchez, using draft. I'd like this guy as well. He'd fit in my team. His pace is good. He's very, very strong. I mean, going back to the start of the game when using his normal gold card, he was one of the OP centre backs to have in a Premier League. Set up with, along with like Joe Gomez, for instance, and Sanchez were like the pairing I used to see the most. So he's got that about him already for him to be a 93 at this stage. I'm not too sure on Colombia. I don't know if they're still in the tournament or not, or whether they're how well they're doing, I should say. But if he gets any more upgrades, that's going to be a lights out centre back. That is. Bobby Firmino, I haven't used. He's very expensive, so if you haven't got the budget or anywhere near this sort of coin levels, then obviously you're just going to have to try and get him in a draft, get lucky. But I've heard great things about this card as well. He looks insane. I'd love to be able to use this card down the line. Klosterman, now this guy I think was the OP cheap-ish gold centre back at the start of the game that everyone wanted to get their hands on purely because he had the pace. I mean, he's still got that pace now. They've given him a 90 pace on this card, and it looks incredible. But Germany won't be getting any more upgrades, so you buy him for what he is now. I believe his price dropped down a little bit, but you know, for the price you're going to get this guy at, I think he'd be worth it, to be honest. And then I think Hazard, I haven't used. I haven't got lucky enough to get this guy. But again, I mean, 98 rated. Look, them stats are insane. He could potentially be the first 99 card on this game. That isn't an icon. If Belgium beat Italy, he could get the 99 rated card and then potentially the 5-star weak foot and 5-star skills. I mean, he's 4-star now. I mean, yeah, them stats are incredible. This guy's going to be insane to be using game, I'd imagine. I haven't used him yet, but I'd love to get this card. Chilwell I've used again in draft, but he's good. He's a good guy. He's fast. He's strong. He doesn't get bullied off the ball, which is good. But again, if you're going to go down the left back route, I mean, for me, you know, it's not worth spending too much coins on fullbacks. In all honesty, you can get some good fullbacks for cheaper than this guy in this game, and you're better off spending your coins elsewhere if you're on a budget. Golovin, one of the lowest, cheapest, if not the cheapest, I think. Actually, he's even cheaper than Dziki. Russia are out the tournament, so he won't be getting upgraded. I did use this guy in draft, and again, it's the same as he's on the sort of levels of Gnabry. He's a bit quicker than Gnabry, but he just doesn't feel in game. João Felix, I personally didn't agree with this guy. Again, that's probably down to my play style. But I have heard a lot of people say that they really enjoy this card. But for me, just didn't feel natural enough on the ball. It's very clunky. Got bullied a little bit for me. I mean, I don't know if that's just me again, guys. I mean, I'm only, you know, at the sort of level of Division 4, Division 5 in rivals. And Silver 1 sort of level at Foot Champs, so it could be me, but I personally didn't agree with this guy. It didn't fit for me, and I think the price then put me off. I was thinking about getting him. Alexis Sanchez, I haven't tried. He's cheap enough. I mean, I don't know how Chile are getting on. I think they've won a couple of games, but I mean, for the price there, I mean, if you're running a Serie A squad, his stats look really, really good, to be honest. I mean, 5'6", 4-star, 3-star, fast, agility, balance 99. Yeah, this guy looks really good. I mean, if Chile do get another upgrade, I mean, if they do get through, that could be a really, really good card for that sort of price. Again, it'll just be down to whether you can get him into your team or whether you'd like to try him as a super sub. I don't think you're going to lose too much money on him. I mean, around the 150k mark probably, I'd say, between 150 and 180k. We've got Foden. I used in draft. It's a good card. For me, I wouldn't want to spend 1.25 million on this guy. In all honesty, I think there's a lot better cams you can get for that price on this game. Now, his stats are really good. Obviously, England are still in. It's coming home. And his stats tell you he should be incredible, but again, it comes down to the strength. Like, he's very similar to Verratti for me. The height, the strength, they're almost identical. And whilst Verratti's really, I enjoy playing with Verratti, and I did to a certain degree with Foden. It's just in them crunch times, in them crunch games when you're under the cosh a little bit, they just get bullied about, and it can be frustrating sometimes. And I just think the price tag put me off a little bit for that. When you can look at some very, very good cards now for 1.2, 1.3 million. Rebic, this Rebic card you can pick up really cheap. Again, Croatia, they're out, but he's fast and strong. Very, very, very useful on the wing, but you know, bit clunky. He's tall. He is clunky on the ball, but I mean, for a fast, powerful guy there, maybe as a super sub, I'd say it might be your best shout for this guy. Unless you are running a Serie A team with wingers, you might get away. But for the price, again, you can't go wrong for that price. You could probably get him for around 70 to 80k if you went for it and put on bids or snipe. But he's cheap enough, and I think that's the last one, guys. There, so depends on your budget, guys. I mean, some of them players there. That's just my opinion. Again, like I reiterate, I'm just an okay average FIFA player. I'm just going off how I feel in game with certain players. I feel this year more than any, I've enjoyed players who are more small and nimble on the ball with a little bit of strength to them, like for instance the Martinez card, the Verrattis, but their downfall is the strength. But then the taller players, like even Cristiano Ronaldo in my squad, who I play up front, I can bring on. Even this guy, he's incredible. Don't get me wrong, but even this guy can infuriate you sometimes because he can feel clunky because of his height. It's the way EA have coded this game this year. It's hard to find the blend. Like, you've either got your tall, clunky guys, or you've got your short, nimble guys, but one hasn't got strength, one's got strength, and it's just trying to find that balance and how you want to play the game. But I mean, I just done this, guys, as a quick overview, just a few tips for you guys on how I felt with the cards. If you are thinking of buying any of them cards, at least then, if you're in the same sort of level playing field as me, and you do play very similar to me with the smaller, nimble guys, then you've got an idea then of which ones are going to be useful to you. That's the end of the video. If you do want to subscribe, leave a like on the video, that'd be much appreciated. Coming up down the line, going into FIFA 22 now, I'm going to start pushing some more videos. I'm trying to store packs ready for Friday for the Summer Stars promo on Friday, which I'm hoping they bring out some incredible cards. I mean, I'm up to 96 packs. I'm hoping to try and craft around the 200 mark, and then maybe craft more as I go along when I open them on the Friday. But if you do want to see more videos now and then going into FIFA 22 that can give you player reviews, pack openings, BPM League SBC grind, that's where I'm the strongest, and that's how I've made my coins all this year on my road to glory. Then please, like I say, it'd be much appreciated if you could subscribe, and hopefully we can go into FIFA 22 and make the same amount of coins, guys. So thanks for watching. See you next time.